We're going to start today's class in child's pose. So if everyone wants to meet at the back of their mat, we're just going to kiss our big toes together. Sit back on your heels, take the knees maybe together, maybe just slightly wider than the hips, and begin to press the belly forward between the thighs. Lead with the heart and then walk the hands forward. Full expression, your forehead's going to come to the mat. And just start to come into your own breath here. Maybe you take the hands instead and wrap them around the legs, grabbing the heels. Maybe you slide them between the legs. I really like this one too. So lots of options in our child's pose. Just coming into our breath here. It's okay if your sit bones don't quite touch your heels. We're just energetically pressing them back towards the heels. Each inhale, maybe inch your fingertips just a fraction forward. And each exhale, send those hips just a little further back, creating just a little bit more space. And just begin to check in with yourself. Maybe this is your first practice in a while. So just notice how you're feeling, maybe any sensations. Try to breathe through those. Know that child's pose is here for you throughout the practice. If you ever need to come check back in with yourself, you can always come back to this position. So we're going to take about one more breath here. And then on your next inhale, we're going to roll forward, coming through our tabletop. So in tabletop, you might need to step the hands in. We're stacking the shoulders over the wrists, and then the hips are going to be right over the knees, neutral spine. Inhale, we're going to begin to drop the belly, take the chin up, chest up, roll the shoulder blades back, gaze comes up, cow pose. We're just going to transition from here through cat. So just exhale, begin rounding the spine. Press the mat away with the tops of your feet and your fingertips. Tuck that chin. Really exaggerate here, connecting the breath. Inhale, drop the belly, chin up, chest up, cow pose. Exhale, angry cat. Round through the spine, tuck the chin, press the mat away. One more, inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Go ahead and curl the back toes. From here, we're going to sit back on the heels, coming into a toe stretch. If this ever becomes too much, you can take a prop like a block or a pillow underneath the sit bones. You can also just come right down. From here, we're going to take our hands, interlacing the fingers. We're just going to roll out the wrists. And just shake them out. When you're ready, we're going to take our palms face up, and we're going to turn them inward. So we're turning them in towards one another, and then fingertips are going to be facing the knees. Maybe you come off the heels here as you begin to make little baby fists, and then sit your weight back just a little bit. It should feel good in the wrists. This is really good if you have carpal tunnel, or if you do a lot of typing. And then slight variation, just face those fingertips towards one another. Nice. And go ahead and release. From here, we're going to walk the hands back up. Try to stay in the toe stretch if you can. We're just going to interlace our fingers, flipping the palms this time. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, twisting over to the right. Really try to keep that left shoulder blade rolled open here. Maybe take your gaze up, just past that left armpit. And then inhale through center. Exhale, we're going to dip over to the left. Keep the right shoulder blade rolled open. Take your gaze under that right armpit. Inhale through center, and then just exhale, release the hands. We're just going to shift our weight forward so we can cross the ankles back behind us and come into a seated position. And from here, closing the eyes, taking our hands through heart center. If you haven't started Ujjayi breath, and if it's not a part of your practice, that's okay. But in yoga, we try to breathe through our nose through the remainder of the class with the Ujjayi breath. We take a slight restriction in the back of the throat. It's almost an oceanic sound. Maybe start here. Start now, give it a try. Your prana or your breath is your magic, and it helps you breathe through each pose. If not, maybe you come into a mantra here. It can be a word, a phrase, something to guide you back to the present moment. When you're ready, you can keep the eyes shut or flutter them open as we take our right hand down, inhaling our left arm high. Just dropping it over, palm facing the mat. Gaze can come up towards that palm. Inhale through center, both arms come high. Exhale, dipping over to the left. Same thing, opposite side. One more each side. Inhale through center, get a little taller. Exhale off to the right. Inhale up through center. Exhale left. And this time when we inhale through center, we're going to take our left hand to our right knee and our right hand back behind us, just taking a seated spinal twist. Taking your gaze towards that right shoulder, just don't force your neck back here. And then just taking a counter twist to the opposite side. Should feel really nice. Right hand, left knee. One more breath. Maybe twist a little deeper on your exhale. And then when you're ready, release. From here, we're going to cross the ankles again. Actually, instead of crossing the ankles, we're just going to step our feet forward. See if you can maybe lift one foot and then the other. You can keep the hands besides the glutes. You can also take them back behind you, or maybe you float them for your boat pose. Hold it here. Exhale, drop it low, slow and controlled, coming into a low boat. And then release. Coming down to the floor, go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe try to keep the tailbone pressing into the mat. Maybe rock side to side here. And from here, we're just going to flex the feet up towards the ceiling for waterfall for just a breath. And then we're going to begin to take the legs out wider, coming into a happy baby. So this is going to open up the hips. We're still flexing our feet up towards the ceiling. And you have a couple options here. You can grab behind the knees, binding the hands. It looks like that. You can also grab the outer blades of your feet if you can find them, or maybe take peace fingers to big toes. Whichever variation we're taking, it's as active as you make it. So check in with your form, check in with how this feels in the body. It's going to be a hip opener here. Each inhale, pressing your legs up higher towards the ceiling, kicking up towards the sky. And each exhale, energetically pulling your legs back towards the mat. Try to get those thighs parallel to the floor. One more breath. And then exhale, just go ahead and release that grip on the feet. We're going to straighten them back up towards the sky, and we're going to just drop them 1 inch at a time, engaging the core. Try to keep the belly button tethered in towards the spine so that the spine stays connected to your mat for as long as you can. And when your heels touch, go ahead and point the toes, interlace your fingers, flip the palms, give yourself one long stretch, really elongating here. And then exhale, release the grip on the hands. We're just going to Pilates roll up. Slow and controlled. Again, one vertebrae at a time. From here, inhale, take your hands back behind you. I'm going to bend the knees here. We're coming into a reverse tabletop. So we're just going to send the hips high. Maybe take the chin up. Press those hips higher. And then exhale, drop the hips back towards the floor. We're going to straighten our legs again, and we're just going to fold forward. So lead with the heart here. Maybe wiggle the sit bones out of the way. Once you lead with the heart, grab any part of the legs that feels okay. So that might be around the back of the feet. You can also take a strap here. So if you have any kind of props, you want to take a strap back behind there. Might help you lead with the chest. When you find your edge, just fold the crown of your head down. Releasing into the pose here. Breathing through any sensations, any discomfort. Recognize the difference between pain and discomfort. Yoga has a way of finding us in uncomfortable positions, almost like life, where you can find yourself in some odd and uncomfortable situations. You just breathe through them and pass. You can do anything for a few breaths. One more breath here. And then exhale, release. We're going to come back through our boat pose. So if you took your hands back behind you for support, that's fine. Just hugging in those knees. Maybe you try taking them up as we lift our legs. Hold it here. This time we're going to hold it for 3 breaths. Really engage the core. 2 more breaths. Maybe try to straighten the legs. 1 more breath. And then go ahead and cross the ankles. We're just going to bend the knees, shifting back through our tabletop. We're actually going to take knees, chest, chin here. So from here, in yoga, we don't do push-ups with the elbows out. We keep the elbows in. So tether in those elbows. We're going to drop our chest and our chin down towards our mat. The glutes are still high. Inhale, slither forward onto the belly. Press the tops of your feet and your pelvic floor into the mat. And that's gonna help your chest lift off. So fingers can line up with the chest here, elbows in towards the spine. Maybe see if you can hover the hands in your Cobra. If not, just press into the mat. Maybe come up a little higher. And then exhale, release. Left cheek's gonna come to the mat. We're gonna bend our right knee and reach back for that right foot. If you have a strap and you wanna take the strap around the foot, that's fine as well. We're just gonna guide that right heel towards the right glute, waking up that quad. One more breath. And then exhale, release. Taking a Cobra between sides, fingertips line up with the chest, tops of the feet press into the mat, pelvic floor presses into the mat, thighs press into the mat. Inhale up. Maybe see if you can hover the hands. And then exhale, release, right cheek to the mat, bending the left knee. We're gonna reach back for that left foot and guide that left heel towards the glute. Just getting into that left quad. 2 more breaths. And last breath. On your exhale, we're gonna release that foot. This time, you can come through your Cobra or you can press all the way up into your up dog. So if we're pressing up, tethering those elbows towards the spine, fingertips line up with the chest. Inhale, come up. The only things touching the mat, just go forward for you, are the tops of my feet and my hands. So press all your fingertips in, slight bend in the elbows, shoulders away from the ears. If you feel tension in the lower back, you're probably not engaging the core just enough. So just engage the core, come up a little higher. It should take that away. And then exhale, we're gonna send the hips high, folding over the feet for downward facing dog. It's okay if the heels don't touch the floor here. We're just energetically sending them back towards the floor behind us. Hips are shooting towards the back wall, belly button up towards the spine, shoulders away from the ears. Press all 10 fingertips into the mat and just pedal it out. Maybe take your gaze up towards those thighs or maybe up towards the belly button. From here, we're gonna inhale, come high on the toes. Take your gaze up between your hands, and then we're just gonna tiptoe to meet our hands at the very top of the mat. From here, go ahead and release the heels down. Inhale, flat back lengthen. You can line up the fingers with the toes. You can take the hands to the shins or maybe up to the thighs. We're just elongating through the spine here. And then exhale, fold, bend the knees. Again. Inhale, flat back lengthen, whatever that looks like for you. This time, interlace your fingers at the small of your back. We're gonna offer the heart, roll the shoulder blades away. And then exhale, fold forward. Exaggerate the bend in the knees, keep the eyes open, crown of the head is down, hands come up overhead. Try to keep those palms pressing into one another here. And it can feel good to separate them too. It's just a little more active. You probably won't get as deep, but maybe play with keeping those palms together. I knew you were going to interrupt me. And when you're ready, just exhale. We're going to release those hands in front of the face. Grab opposite elbows. If you didn't have a bend in the knees, go ahead and take one here. Keeping the head, the crown of the head relaxed towards the floor. We're going to just sway side to side for Ragdoll. And you should be able to shake the head no. And nod the head yes. Yes, I can. Yes, I am. Yes, I will. Always ending on a positive. And when you're ready, just exhale, release the hands in front of the face. We're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time, slow and controlled. The crown of your head being the last thing to come up. Roll those shoulder blades back. Continue the inhale. We're going to circle the sun. Exhale, take your hands through heart center. Check in with yourself. Go ahead and close the eyes here. Slight bend in the knees. Tuck the tailbone. Maybe inhale, lift all 10 toes up. Fan them out. Exhale, press them back into the mat. Relax the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Inhale, the eyes open, and we're gonna circle the sun again. Exhale, bend the knees slightly. We're gonna swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plant the palms. We're gonna step back with our right foot, coming into our warrior one. Hips stay square towards the front. Back heel comes down at a 45-degree angle. We're gonna inhale the arms up. Try to connect the breath. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And then exhale, exhale, exhale. We're gonna drop the hands back down. Step back with your left foot. Either take knees, chest, chin, cobra, or take a chaturanga, elbows in. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Very good. Inhale the right leg high to the sky. And then exhale, bring it between those hands. Drop the back heel down. We're gonna inhale, inhale, inhale the arms up, warrior one. And then exhale back down. Beautiful. This time, left foot's gonna meet the right at the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, reverse swan dive, come up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Getting the other side. Now we're gonna inhale again, circle the sun. Bend the knees slightly and then exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plant the palms, step back with the left foot, back heel down, 45-degree angle. Inhale, up, warrior one. Tuck the pelvis, shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, come down. Right foot steps back to meet left, high plank. Exhale, down to low, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. One breath here. Exhale, side out the mouth. Inhale, left leg comes high again. And then exhale, bring it through right between those hands. Drop the back heel. We're gonna inhale the arms up, warrior one. Hips are still square towards the front. And then exhale, come down. This time, inhale, look at those between those hands. The right foot's gonna step forward to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, inhale, reverse swan dive, come up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Beautiful. One more each side. So, inhale, circle the sun. Exhale, bend the knees, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Plant the palms. Right foot comes back, warrior one. Inhale up. Hold it here. Maybe goddess out the arms. Take your gaze up. Inhale the arms back up and exhale them back down to the mat. Left foot meets right, high plank. Exhale down to low or knees, chin, chest. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg comes back high. Exhale, bring it between those hands. Drop the back heel. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Arms come up. Maybe you goddess them out. Maybe you take your gaze a little higher. And then exhale, exhale, exhale. Fold forward. Inhale, left leg meets right. Flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, reverse swan dive. Come through center. Exhale, hand through heart center. One more, left side. Inhale, circle the sun. Bend the knees, exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plant the palms, step back with the left foot, warrior one. Inhale up. Maybe you stay, maybe you goddess the arms, take your gaze up. And then exhale, come back to the mat. Inhale, right leg meets left, high plank. Exhale, down to lower, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes back high to the sky. And then exhale, bring it between those hands. Drop the back heel. Inhale through your warrior one. Maybe goddess out the arms, maybe take your gaze up. And then exhale those hands back to the mat. Step forward with that right foot. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, inhale, reverse swan dive, come up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Beautiful. From here, we're just gonna inhale, circle the sun. We're gonna do part of a sun A, just to get back into tabletop. Exhale, swan dive, fold. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plant the palms, step it back, high plank. Exhale, down to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And then exhale, tabletop. Beautiful. From here, extend your right leg back behind you. Just point and flex that foot. Take some circles with the ankle. And reverse those circles when you're ready. From here, we're just gonna exhale and crunch it in, round through the spine. Inhale out, exhale in. Inhale out, exhale in. This time we're gonna inhale out, And then we're gonna swing that leg to the outer edge of the right side of our mat. Maybe you curl your back toes just to shimmy your back leg out a little farther. We're coming into dragon or lizard with that right leg. So from here, try to keep the knee stacked over the ankle. Maybe you stay high, maybe you come onto the forearms here. Just options, it's your practice. I'm just here to throw out some options to play with. So whether you're on the forearms or the hands, you can also fly your dragon, extending your right arm high. You can also reach back for a bind if you want to bend the back knee and reach for that back foot. Guiding that glute or the heel towards the glute is just going to intensify the quad stretch. So, dealer's choice. Lots of options here. We've got 3 breaths. You can also play with taking that right shoulder underneath the knee. This comes into an arm balance eventually. So, just be mindful here, wherever you're at. Come back to your breath. Back to that mantra. One more breath. And then if you've got the bind, go ahead and release. If you're on the forearms, we're just going to come up. Go ahead and heel toe that foot through center. You need to square off a little bit. From here, we're going to inhale the arms up. So here we're pressing that left hip forward and the right hip's coming back. So we're squared off. Right knee is over the right ankle. Maybe goddess out the arms if you haven't tried it yet. The back extension is through the upper back here. Exhale, we're going to take our hands back behind us and interlace the fingers. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades back. Offer the heart. Hold it here. And then exhale, just release that grip. We're going to frame the foot coming into our half split or half monkey. We're going to straighten that front leg. The front toes come off of the mat. You might need to scoot that foot forward to keep the hips stacked over the knee. From here, we're just going to inhale, lengthen. So shoulder blades back. And then exhale, begin to fold over that leg. So eventually the forehead's going to come down to the shin. We're coming forward though, so definitely lead with the heart as you come down. If this is too much on that back leg, you can come down to a block or two. So option to sit on whatever props you have at home. You can come down this way. Another option is just to come all the way to the floor if you're without props. This is still a half split. So about 3 breaths wherever we're at. You can walk the hands forward. You can take them back behind you. You can also walk them off the right side of your mat. You can do anything for 3 breaths. Last breath. From here, if you're on those blocks, go ahead and get them out of the way. We're just going to rebend our front knee. From here, we're going to curl our back toes and come off that back knee. From here, we're going to begin to straighten our front leg. So if you have blocks and you want to frame your front foot with them, that might be a good idea. We're coming into pyramid. So we're going to begin to straighten our front leg as much as we can, sending that back heel back towards the mat behind us. It's okay if it doesn't touch. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale. Again, we're folding forward. Keep those hips squared off. Send the left hip forward, right hip back. One more breath. Exhale, we're going to rebend our front knee. If you've got the blocks, go ahead and get them out of the way. We're going to inhale the arms up. Back heel is off the mat, crescent lunge. So very similar to warrior one. We're tucking our pelvis here, shoulders away from the ears as we come up. Really stack that right knee over that right ankle and check in with your big toe. You should be able to see that. From here, we're coming into our warrior two. So when you're ready, exhale, cartwheel those arms open. So the hips open up to the left side of our mat. We might need to heel toe that back foot out a little bit. Back foot's at a 90-degree angle, so it's lined up with the back of our mat. And shoulders are right over the hips here. We're going to take that left hand down that back leg. Inhale the right arm high, reverse your warrior. And then exhale, we're just going to cartwheel our hands back to the mat. Step back with your right foot, high plank. Exhale down to lower, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tabletop. Taking cat-cows between sides. I'm going to go ahead and guide these this way, but if you want to flip the palms, this is a nice variation as well. So you can take them this way, or you can flip the palms. I'm actually going to take the palms flipped. Inhale, drop the belly, chin up, chest up, roll the shoulder blades back. Exhale, angry cat. Press the mat away. Arch the spine. Connect the breath. Inhale, cow. Slow and controlled. Really exaggerate here. Exhale, angry cat. One more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. If you're like me and your palms are flipped, go ahead and flip them back over. Maybe you need to wiggle them out for just a minute. And just massages them a little. From here, extending your left leg back behind you. You can't see it. Point and flex that foot. Take some circles with the ankle. Reverse those circles when you're ready. From here, we're just gonna crunch it in, knee to nose. Inhale out, exhale in. Inhale out, exhale in. One more, inhale out, exhale in. This time we're gonna inhale out. And we're gonna step it to the outer edge of the left side of our mat, dragging on the opposite side. So as you saw, I curled my back toes to lift off my back knee just to step my stance back a little bit. You might want to stay high. Some people take dragon this way, and that's fine as well. And again, the blocks are there just to bring the floor closer. If you want to play with the forearms in between, that can be nice. But if you flew your dragon, or if you reached back for the bind on the opposite leg, give it a try on this side. Notice the different sensations between right and left side. And honor yourself, even if it's a little more challenging on this side. Just notice where you're at. Accept it. Breathe through it. You have about 3 more breaths on this leg. 2 more breaths. And if you're binded, go ahead and release. If you're on the forearms, we're just going to come up here. Go ahead and heel toe that foot back through center. You need to shorten your stance again. Just squaring off the hips here. We're going to inhale the arms up when we're ready. So tucking the pelvis, shoulders away from the ears. Front knee is stacked over the ankle. Again, if you didn't try the goddess yet, maybe give it a try. Take your gaze up. Pressing into the top of the back foot's really going to help your balance here. This time when we interlace our fingers, try to take the opposite grip. It's going to feel like you're holding somebody else's hand. So for me, it's this one. Roll the shoulder blades back. Hands away from the leg. And then exhale, release the bind. We're just framing the foot. Coming through our half split or half monkey. Straightening our front leg. Keep the hips squared and high if it feels okay. Lifting those front toes off the mat. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, just begin to fold over that front leg. We're folding forward. So come forward before you come down. And again, you can walk the hands off the left side of the mat here. You can take them back behind you, and so many options to sit on props or the floor in between. We have 3 more breaths. Hips are squared and high. If you're taking it the way I am, it's your practice. So do what feels good. Listen to your body. 1 more breath. Exhale, we're going to rebend our front knee. Curling our back toes, coming off that back knee. We're just going to begin to straighten our front legs, sending our back heel towards the mat behind us. So if you want to come to those blocks, framing the foot, that can feel nice. Inhale, begin to square off and straighten. Sending that back heel towards the floor, and then exhale, fold over that front leg. Pyramid pose. And 3 breaths here. And 2 more breaths. And last breath. Exhale, we're going to rebend our front knee. From here, we're going to inhale the arms up. So if you want to take the hands to the hips to come up first, just to get your form correct, you might need to adjust the feet a little bit. This is our crescent lunge. So we're tucking the pelvis here. So try to straighten that back leg as much as you can. Right knee over the right ankle. And again, like I said, check in with that big toe. Again, shoulders are going to be away from the ears. If you want to play with holding a block between the hands, essentially imagine pressing a block between the hands, but roll the shoulder blades down. Take your gaze forward. And then exhale, we're gonna drop that back heel 90-degree angle, warrior two, opening up the hips now to the right side of our mat. A lot of people tend to come forward in this one. Make sure the shoulders are stacked right over the hips. One more breath. Inhale the right arm down that back leg, and the left arm is gonna come high, reversing your warrior. One more breath. And then exhale, just cartwheel your hands back towards the mat. This time, we're gonna step back with the left foot, high plank. Exhale, down to low, or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, child's pose. From here, inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth. One more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Inhale, look between those hands. We're gonna curl those back toes, come off the knees, send the hips high, downward facing dog, pedal it out. From here, we're gonna inhale, come high on the toes, take your gaze between your hands. Exhale, take your knees out wide. And we're gonna come into some kick-ups here. So if you don't wanna do the kick-ups, you can meet at a squat in the front of your mat. If you wanna try some kick-ups, it's a really good way to get comfortable being off your feet and kind of inverting. So it can be scary to let go of that kind of control. This is a really good way to get comfortable with it. You come high on the toes, take the knees out wide, and then just try to kick your butt. So pressing into your fingertips is really gonna help here, and you might just get some air time. And if you get here and you're holding, you can also begin to just straighten the legs up towards the ceiling. So do it a couple times, see how it feels. And then we're gonna meet in a yogi squat at the top of our mat. And if you don't want to jump there, essentially the heels are stacked right underneath the hips, toes are out slightly wider, and then we just sink it down. If you want a little less, you can sit on some blocks, and that feels nice too. It's just as good. So, two options there. We're using the forearms to press the thighs apart here, hands at prayer. Inhale, right arm down, left arm is gonna come high. You can stay here, or you can wrap around for a bind. You would take that left hand back behind you, and then the right arm as well. So just turn for you. So left arm back, and then right arm as well. Reaching for those hands, maybe you grab the wrist instead. Roll the shoulder blades back, take your gaze up over that left shoulder, regardless of which posture you are holding. One more breath. And then if you're binding, go ahead and release. Taking your hands back through prayer, inhale through center, and then exhale, left arm down, right arm comes high. Now again, you can stay here, or you can wrap around the body for that bind. Taking your gaze up to the right. Two more breaths. Last breath. And then just exhale, release that grip if you're binded. Pressing those thighs apart one last time. We're gonna take our hands to the mat, and we're just gonna straighten our legs. So keep the feet exactly as they are. The toes are out wide, and the heels are inward underneath the hips. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. And then exhale, fold forward in this funky stance. You're gonna get a different stretch in the back of the legs. Maybe you wrap around and grab the calves or the ankles to help bring yourself closer to the floor. Again, inhale, flat back, lengthen. This time lift off the toes, so we're just on the heels so that we can bring the toes together. Now we're in kind of a pigeon stance. And then exhale, fold forward again. Release the crown of your head down. Maybe wrap around the legs. One more breath here. And again, inhale, flat back, lengthen. This time coming onto the toes, bringing the heels together. We're gonna bend our knees as much as we need to. We're coming into gorilla. So you bend your knees so that you can send your weight into your heels. We're gonna take our palms face up, and we're gonna take them right underneath the feet, trying to get the toes up into the wrists. You should be able to bend the knees enough to get here. If it doesn't feel okay, just come back into a fold. But from here, you can begin to play with straightening the legs. You can wiggle the toes to massage the wrists, release the crown of your head down. It's okay to keep the knees bent. You can also bend out the elbows wide. In our gorilla for 2 more breaths. Last breath. And then exhale, release, coming out of it slow and controlled. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we're gonna roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Circling the sun. Exhale, Utkatasana, coming into chair pose. So sink it back. Maybe you keep the arms high, maybe you take the hands to prayer. You can keep the feet together, or you can take the heels about as wide as the knees and the hips, toes slightly closer. If your hands are at prayer or extended, we're shifting our weight into our left foot, and we're just gonna step back with our right. Crescent lunge. Sending our right foot back forward. Inhale, chair. Exhale, crescent, same foot. Again, inhale, chair. Exhale, crescent, 2 more. Inhale, chair, slow and controlled. Exhale, crescent. Last one. Inhale, chair. Exhale, crescent. Beautiful. Go ahead and drop your back heel down. We're in our warrior 1, coming into humble warrior. Inhale, take your hands back behind you. Interlace the hands. Roll the shoulder blades back. And then exhale, fold forward. Keep the hips square towards the front. That left hip is going to want to shoot out to the left. Send it back in line. Send it to the right. So we're releasing the crown of our head down. Really press into the outer blade of your back foot as you send your arms up and overhead. Eventually, one day the crown of the head coming all the way down. Use that left shoulder inside that left knee to send that left knee outward. 1 more breath. Inhale, go ahead and straighten your front leg. All 10 toes are going to come to the right side of your mat. We're going to go ahead and release our hands in front of our face. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. You can heel toe your foot out a little wider if you want a wider legged stance for this wide-legged fold. And then exhale, release the crown of your head towards the floor. Maybe walk your hands underneath past the heels. Maybe you keep them underneath the face. 1 more breath. Again, inhale, flat back, lengthen. We're going to take our hands to our hips, slightly bend the knees, and come up. Beautiful. From here, we're just going to step forward to the top of our mat and take the same thing on the opposite side. So inhale, circle the sun. Exhale, sink it down into your chair. Hold it here. Shifting our weight into the right foot. Take a big inhale, and then exhale, step back with your left foot, crescent lunge. Inhale, chair. Exhale, crescent, slow and controlled. Inhale, chair. Exhale, crescent. We have 2 more, stick with it. Inhale, chair. Exhale, crescent, last one. Inhale, chair. Exhale, crescent. From here, dropping our back heel down, 45-degree angle. Warrior 1, tuck the pelvis, shoulders away from the ears. Take those hands, interlace them behind your back, switch up the grip. What's the grip? Roll the shoulder blades, and then exhale, fold forward, humble warrior. Release the crown of your head towards the floor. Keep the eyes open. Two more breaths. Keep those hips in a line. That right hip's gonna wanna swing right. Swing it back in line. Inhale, straighten your front leg. All 10 toes are gonna come to the left side of your mat. I'm just gonna switch so you can see. And then we're gonna begin to release the hands in front of the face. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Take the hands to the hips, slight bend in the knees, come up. Coming into our goddess pose. We're gonna come off the heels and bring the heels in towards one another. Toes out wide. From here, sink it down. So play with the stance here a little bit, trying to stack again, knees over ankles. From here, goddess out the arms, sink a little deeper. Hold it here. And then see if you can lift that right heel off the mat. Sink a little deeper. Exhale, release. Hold it here. Seeing if we can do the same thing on the left. Go ahead and inhale up when we're ready. And then exhale, release. Come a little deeper. Shaking is good. One more time. We're going to see if we can come up on both heels. So 1, 2, 3. Inhale up. Sink a little deeper. And then exhale, drop both heels, come through standing, fold forward. Inhale, come high on the toes and take the heels out wider than the toes. Send the weight into the balls of your feet. Take your left hand through center. Inhale the right arm high. Maybe you come to a block. We have an option there if you need to bring the floor closer. You can stay here on your exhale. You can take that right hand and bind behind the left hip. If you want a little more, you can take that left hand and reach for any part of the right leg. If you're reaching for the right leg, make sure not to swing your torso in that direction. It's just so we can twist a little deeper. One more breath. And then exhale, release the bind if you're binded. Right hand meets left. Inhale, right hand through center, left arm comes high. You can stay here or you can wrap that left hand around the right hip, binding. You can also take the right hand to any part of the left leg to twist a little deeper. Take your gaze up, keep the eyes open. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Exhale, release the bind if you're binded. Both hands come through center. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Take your hands to your hips, bend the knees slightly just to come up. And we're going to meet at the top of our mat again. Coming through our chair pose. Inhale, circle the sun. Exhale, Utkatasana chair. Hold it here. From here, we're going to come into eagle on each side. I'm going to do it at a slight angle so you can see. We're going to shift our weight into our left foot, coming off of the right. From here, see if you can cross the right leg over the left. You can stay, or you can try to wrap that right heel around the left. Or the toes, I'm sorry. So the right leg is over the left. You can take that left hand now over the right. So it's right leg over, right arm under, if that's easier. So from here, try to bring the palms together. Sink a little deeper. Shoulders away from the ears. Maybe take your hands a little higher. You can stay, or you can see if you can get the elbows to meet the knees, just testing your balance. Focus on something about 3 feet in front of you that isn't moving. That'll really help. Inhale, come up if you crunched. And then exhale, release. Shake it out. Opposite side, rooting into your right foot. Inhale, circle the sun. Exhale, chair. Root through that right foot. Come off the left, cross the left over right. You can stay here or wrap the heel. From here, take the arms out wide. It's left leg over, so it's left arm under. So left arm under right. And just try to get those palms as close together as you can. Sink a little deeper. Maybe stay, maybe crunch. If you're crunched, 1 more breath. And then inhale, come up, hold it here. And then exhale, release, slow and controlled, shake it out. Inhale, circle the sun. Top of your mat, exhale, chair. Sink a little deeper, a little deeper, a little bit deeper, hold it. And then take your hands back behind you, coming onto your glutes. From here, we're gonna straighten our legs out. This time we're coming into a reverse plank. Go ahead and take the soles of your feet onto the mat. Take your hands behind your glutes. Press the hips high. See if you can straighten the legs. Take the gaze back. Exhale, drop the hips back towards the floor. We're going to Pilates roll down, slow and controlled. Go ahead and take the hands beside you. From here, we're going to bend the knees in so that the soles of our feet are right by our glutes. And we're actually coming into bridge pose. I'm just trying to come back into frame. So in bridge, you can press the tops of your hands into the mat to press your hips high. You can also interlace the fingers and take a shoulder stretch. You might come a little higher. You can also take assisted bridge if you want to use a block right underneath the tailbone. So whenever you're ready, just inhale, come up. Two more breaths. And then one more breath. On your next exhale, maybe release that bind, maybe move the block. whatever variation you're taking, drop the tailbone back to the mat and windshield wiper the knees side to side. One more time. Coming into bridge, maybe you take wheel instead. Go ahead and plant those feet right behind the glutes. Whatever variation you're taking, whenever you're ready. Inhale, send the hips high. If you didn't try the shoulder stretch, maybe give it a try this time. 3 more breaths. 2 more. And then exhale, release, drop the hips back towards the mat. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. From here, we're actually going to hug the right knee into the chest and just cross that right ankle over the left thigh. Then we're going to lift that left heel off the mat. So the foot comes up and we reach through with our right hand between the triangle we've created. You can take that left hand around the left leg and bind either behind the knee or over the shin. And then from here, just begin to bring your legs closer to your chest, keeping the tailbone pressing into the mat for pigeon. You can use that right elbow inside that right thigh to press it outward if you can reach. Flex both feet to protect the knees. Each exhale, just maybe imagine creating just a little more space to get a little deeper into the posture. Should feel really nice, opening up the hips. 2 more breaths. Last breath. And when you're ready, just exhale, release. Sending your right heel back to the mat. Windshield wiper the knees maybe between sides. And from here, hugging in that left knee to the body. Crossing that left heel over the right thigh. Reaching through with your left hand through the little triangle you've created. And again, either under the knee or over the shin. Bind. Keep the tailbone pressing into the mat as you bring your legs closer to your torso. It's as active as you make it. So try to maintain the integrity here for just a few more breaths. And again, each exhale, we're creating just a little more space to let go a little deeper, surrendering into the posture. And we have 2 more breaths. Breathing through any sensations that might come up. The hips store a lot of emotion. Last breath. And when you're ready, just exhale, release that grip. Take the left foot back to the mat. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. You can straighten the legs from here. Point the toes. Take those hands, interlace the fingers, flip the palms, send them up overhead. Get a nice long stretch. Exhale, hug the knees back into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe you rock side to side. We're going to send the feet high towards the sky, flexing them, coming into happy baby for the second time. So maybe you take peace fingers to big toes or grab the outer blades of your feet. Maybe you take that bind behind the knees. Whichever variation you're taking, just keep the tailbone and the shoulder blades pressing firmly into the mat. Each inhale, sending the feet up towards the sky. And each exhale, energetically pulling your feet so that the thighs become more parallel to the mat. And if you have peace fingers, maybe play with straightening the legs. Just a little variation, it can feel nice. Maybe you rock side to side. And 3 more breaths. Inhale, the feet come higher towards the sky. Exhale, energetically pulling them back down. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, pull them back down. Hold up. Inhale up. Exhale down. Nice. And then just exhale, release when you're ready. We're going to take our feet about as wide as our mat. And then you're going to take your palms either face up for receiving or down for some grounding. We're coming into our final resting pose of Savasana. So we have about a minute or 2 here to just connect with yourself, connect with your breath. Notice this energy that you've channeled and you've created, and let everything else go. This is where the real practice begins in the mind, letting go. So if there's any postures that you haven't taken that you'd like to conclude your class, please take that now. If not, you can meet me here. Again, palms face up for receiving or down for grounding. You can take the right hand to the heart and the left to the diaphragm if that helps you center. And check in with your breath. And we're going to take a few breaths together here. So exhale everything out of the mouth. From the bottom, we're going to inhale through the nose together. Like a wave washing over you from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top. Take in one more sip of air. One more sip of air. And slow and controlled, pressing through the belly. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way out. Tank is on empty. Keep going. From the bottom, one more time. Inhaling together. Feel it through the lower belly. 5, 4. Into the diaphragm. 3, 2. Into the throat. 1. The crown of your head. Take one more sip of air in. Hold it at the top. Take in one more sip. Your biggest breath yet. And then exhale, just sigh it out the mouth. I'll guide you back when we're ready. as long as you'd like. You can point the toes, interlace the fingers, flip the palms for one last long stretch, sending them over the body. You can stay there or hug the knees into the chest. Giving yourself one final squeeze of gratitude. Maybe you rock side to side. Maybe you roll onto the right side for fetal pose, symbolic of a little rebirth, new energy. And carry this energy with you through the rest of your day, the rest of your week. Doesn't have to stay on the mat, but you started it, and that's what matters. Thank you for letting me guide you through this class. The light in me honors and loves the light within you. And we close this practice as together we say, Namaste. Good job. And thanks for joining. Sorry, my little kitty might have interrupted a few times, but we're making do. I hope to see you again soon, and thanks for coming.